Now, this story became a legend with this rock. It was told several years ago about an ancient tribesman called Hātupātu and his experiences with the bird woman Kurangaituku. Our story for you to listen to today is called Hātupātu. Many years ago, it was the custom of some tribes to go hunting for birds during the long summer months. Hātupātu and his 3 brothers hunted too, but his brothers were really mean to him. They wouldn't give Hātupātu anything to eat, and when he stole some food from their storehouse, they'd beat him with their taia. So Hātupātu ran away into a part of the forest where nobody ever went, because a taniwha lived there. The taniwha, whose name was Kurangaituku, was half woman and half bird. She had claw fingers, a beak for a mouth, and stood as tall as a tree. No wonder everyone was terrified of her. Hātupātu found a cave where Kurangaituku lived. It was full of all kinds of birds, and Hātupātu was so hungry that he ate the birds as fast as he could catch them. But one little reedle-weedle escaped and flew off to warn Kurangaituku. Kurangaituku came flapping back in a rage. She'd have caught him too if he hadn't remembered some magic. Matiti matata, Hātupātu shouted. A huge rock split in two, and Hātupātu fell inside. Hātupātu could hear Kurangaituku thumping and clawing at the rock face, but she could not reach him. Time passed. There was silence all around the rock. Hātupātu could not hear Kurangaituku. Good, he thought. She's gone. He hit the rock wall and said, "Open rock." The wall split open and Hātupātu stepped out. But the crafty taniwha was waiting for Hātupātu. And as soon as Hātupātu crept out from his hiding place, she leapt at him. Hātupātu got a terrible fright. He ran and ran, faster than he had ever ran in his life. Kurangaituku chased Hātupātu all the way to Whakarewaewa. By that time, Hātupātu was so puffed, he was just about ready to give up. But then steam rose in the air, and boiling water bubbled up high. Hātupātu leapt between the scorching hot pools of mud and water, and he leapt over a geyser just as it began to rise. Kurangaituku leapt too, but the geyser threw itself at Kurangaituku, and as she dived, it took her down into the boiling waters under the earth. Hātupātu waited and watched the bubbling geyser, but Kurangaituku never appeared again. Then he turned and went home. If you're ever going to Rotorua and you come to a place called Ātiamuri, you may find a signpost that says Hātupātu's Rock. The people who live around Ātiamuri do not like to go near the rock. It rises up out of the ground and casts a black shadow across the road. On its face are the long claw marks that Kurangaituku made as she tried to open the rock to get Hātupātu. And that is the end of the story. Kia ora.